feeling lost and I know where else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home now. Everybody hating on I feel so cold now. Why do everybody make me feel alone? Like I'm feeling lost and I know where else to go now. I don't really have a place to call my home.
Naruto sat on the boulder in the forest. He sipped water from the river next to him and had overall calm sense. His mask sat next to him and dirty Ambu clothes next to it. He had put on a black muscle t-shirt and had some black jeans. He put on his head and chugged a cold water from his icy cold river. It felt refreshing. He felt stupid. His family, Nato, no one was accepting him. He wanted to love them again, but the cuts and scars ran deep, reminding him of those times he would never forgive them, never love them. That when the tears fell down, he broke down. I'm in the forest. You could hear a wailing of a boy who had no one. Nata heard wailing. She put her ears on the window and heard a faint scream. She smirked. It's probably some weakling who couldn't handle being a ninja. She broke the window and ran out, ignoring Iruka's screams. She started to run faster and faster to show the kid who can disrupt her class, who was boss. Naruto heard running on the feet and pulled his umbu close and clapped on his mask and set off through the trees. He then saw Naruto entering the woods. It was her, he thought in disgust. Come on out, Naruto yelled. Naruto hid his chakra signature. Where did you go? Naruto yelled. Naruto set off into the forest and back into his home, but sometime love was all he needed. Naruto reported to the Hokage's office. He was looking for a mission to reveal his pain. Hokage-sama, Naruto said, bowing to a look of disgust under his mask. Yes, Kitsune? Minato asked, nodding slightly. May I have a mission? Naruto asked. Minato nodded. I want you to find my son Naruto. He hasn't come home, even if he'll never be as skilled as Nato. He has to live with us. He needs to learn how to control his jealousy, not to tell me every time she sees Naruto she is mistreated. I need to make sure he is good or else he'll bring shame to the Uzumaki Namikaze family. He needs to learn his place. Running away make us look shameful. I suppose to look for him, but I'm sending you. Just knock him out and planning memories so he doesn't hate us. Do you understand? This is an SS mission. Hi, Hokage-sama. Naruto nodded. Naruto jumped out and raced to the forest before landing a punch on the ground. It made a huge crater that six Hokage, six of me, Hokage. He dares to erase his own son's memory just to not look shameful. What was next? Replacing him as a clan heir? Naruto fell down on his knees. Why? Why is it always me who is hated? Naruto cried out. He then felt a buzzing behind his eyes. Everything had an electricity blue. Tiny. He looked around. What happened? He entered back into the village. Walking in the village, he ran into Neji. Neji and Naruto bumped together. Sorry, Ambu, Neji said, shaking and staring at the emotionless mask. It's fine, Naruto said, back at Neji, held his shoulder. Ow, Neji groaned. Here, let me take a look at that, Naruto said, holding his arm. Then he shinshin to his house. Let me see it, Naruto said. Neji removed his hand from his shoulder, and a huge bloody scrape was there. Naruto placed some disinfection on it. Once Naruto touched the blood, he felt a buzzing behind his eyes. Then everything turned purple. He shook his head. What's happening? After wrapping Neji up, he sent him home. Once he left, Naruto raced up to the mirror. He then ripped off the Ambu mask to see Lendiver pupil eyes of the Hyuga, nothing other than the Byakugan. How did I get this Byakugan? Naruto yelled. He then decided to test if it was real. Summoned a blood clone. He tried to a sharp jab that Hyuga did. It worked. He kept jabbing till the clone fell down, obviously tried to stare at himself at the mirror. I'm a Hyuga? Minato sighed. He fast in his paperwork together with a clip and leaned back in his chair. Kusune should have been back by now. He then started to think was that he was doing wrong. No, it wasn't. It was for Nato sake. So she officially say she was admired by everyone in her family. If Kisune couldn't find Naruto, then he must have hidden pretty well. Maybe if he made Naruto clan heir, Naruto would come back out of the spite and jealousy. Yes, that was right. That was who Naruto was. A shameful son who could never be strong. Naruto stared in shock and his hand he flicked his eyes to the mirror to make sure he wasn't hallucinating. To keep it a secret, he hid to the Hokage's office to tell him that he couldn't find his shameful son. Upon getting there, the Hokage stared at Kisune intently, waiting for the report. Kisune finally shook his head. Minato threw up his hands. Kisune, we need to find a way to get him out of the hiding. I demand you guard my daughter. Clan passing cemetery seminary. This will draw Naruto out for for jealousy. Okay, we have a Sharingan user guarding. We have you guarding. Ah, we need the Byakugan users. Go find one. The Hokage said, flickering his hand away as a sign to leave. I don't think that's necessary, Minato. Naruto spoke through his mask. Of course it is. Kisune, are you that stupid? I'm the Hokage and you take orders from me. You're not nearly as smart as me. Now, the Hokage said, violently and angry, Naruto. Naruto then took off his Ambu mask to reveal another mask. Only you could see his eyes. During the body searching, Kisune had identified the blue eyes, what was used to be Blue Eyes Man. Now was the new addition to the Hyuga family, a Byakugan user. Minato gasps, where did you get those Byakugans, Kisune? Minato yelled, spooking the bird of the Hokage Tower. Naruto just laughed, not a genius laughing, not happy laugh, but a real insane laugh. Did you really notice your Ambu at all, Minato? Naruto growled, never investigating their DNA, never investigating if they're in pain. They could unlock something. Naruto continued. No, no, Minato shivered, staring at the slightly crazy looking Ambu. Well, under my own analysis, I have a Gegenkai that allows me to copy certain bloodline Gegenkai, especially abilities. Naruto spoke as the Hokage mouth gaps wider and wider. We will test if that's true. Ambu brings in the Mangekyo Sharingan user Itachi Uchiha. Minato yelled as the Ambu jumped off of the window. Naruto growled at Minato as he then asked, who are you, Kisune? He asked simply. Why would you care? Naruto sneered. As the Hokage was beginning to speak, Itachi jumped in an ox eye in a questionable look. Why am I here, Hokage-sama? Especially on my day off, Itachi asked, narrowing his eyes. This is only. Take a minute, Itachi. We could have an SS class weapon here, Minato said, glaring at Itachi. Well, do you think, Kisame? Minato said, leaning back on his chair. Naruto pulled out a kunai in the process to cut Itachi's arm. Stop, Kisame, Itachi growled. Naruto stopped and touched the crimson substance. He was flashing red and then stared at the Hokage. It's true, Minato stuttered. Itachi gasped. The Mangekyo Sharingan, Itachi said. Good job, Kisane. He then said. Naruto laughed. Naruto rolled his eyes as he stood in front of the Hokage with his student next to him. Lord Hokage, we would like to request a C rank. The Hokage shook his head. Absolutely not. You're not ready, Minato spoke. Lord Hokage, with all due respect, you are just denying just because Naruto is still on a probation academy review. Naruto spoke, obviously not caring about Naruto's feeling. What are you talking about? Kisane, the Hokage asked nervously. Due to Naruto misbehaving and inability to come to a missions, you are denying us to do missions. Naruto spoke, obviously not happy with the Hokage's decision. No, the Hokage spoke timidly. Yes, Naruto spoke forcefully. You will give us a mission, Naruto growled. Fine. The Hokage spoke. You will protect Tazuna, the bridge builder, to the land of wave. Good. Naruto smirked before walking out, and Sakura and Sasuke gasped at how fast he got a mission and persuading the Hokage. Nightfox Sensei, do we meet at the gate? Sakura asked. Yes, pack enough stuff for a week and 30 minutes, Naruto said to both Sasuke and Sakura, who nodded before running off and jumping off the scene. Sakura packed some makeup, some hair container, and some clothes for ninja stuff. She packed some kunais and shurikens. Is she anything else I have to bring? Sakura questioned. Probably not, Sakura said happily as she put the backpack on and head toward the gate. Sasuke, backpack, a change of clothes, and a lot of ninja tools. He then also picked up a snack and water. Naruto Sasuke shrugged. He was ready. Sasuke head off to the gates. Naruto's waiting at the gates with one scroll in his pocket. It held all his belongings. Getting ready to go, he waited for his students who appeared seconds later. Hey, Night Fox Sensei, Sakura waved. Hey, Sensei, Sasuke nodded along with Naruto back as his answer. He assures them over and were about to take off when they heard a scream off on Pacific girl who was supposed to be in academy probation. Nato ran up to the team, her bags packed, a huge smirk on her face. Hey losers, Nato said, grinning. Why aren't you in the academy? Sasuke growled. My daddy let me out early. He's the Hokage, you know, Nato said violently. Sakura clenched her teeth. That brat was back on? Same could be said for Naruto, as he held back his hand to prevent himself beating Naruto silly. Naruto then spoke. You are continuing your probation after this? What? Nato asked. Yes, you need to learn that your daddy won't always be there to save you. I don't know if you noticed, but you are spoiled, Naruto spoke forcefully, obviously irritated. It's not, Naruto shirked. Naruto stared at Tsunade. Naruto did some hand signs, and Naruto summoned the Nine Tails. Hey, Nine Tails, destroy the hidden leaf and kill everyone you see. Okay, Naruto, as you wish.